It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Now, my next guest is one of my favorite people in the whole world. When she's not spending time with her beautiful family, she's out and about discovering the world. And she's a travel queen who's more than just a familiar face on our screens. She's an award-winning TV presenter, a travel and lifestyle content creator, Zahirah Marty. And she is in the house for the first time in a while. And this morning, she'll be taking us on a journey of how she kicked off her career in Dubai, as well as her latest achievement for her travel show, Great Getaways Namibia, Africa, which has won a Taste Award for Best International Show, which will be happening in March in Los Angeles, alongside a little show known as the Oscars. But give it up, come on, she's in the house! It's so good to see you.
It's so good to be back.
I mean, oh my goodness. I still remember the days when we used to refer to you as Zahirah Variawa and as Zahirah Marty.
Oh,
Marty.
you know,
that was way back in the day.
Yeah.
And so you've come such an incredibly long way from our screens on Top Billing to then going over to Dubai to start your career, and a move that has worked out incredibly well. Looking at your success, it's been absolutely amazing. But I'm sure it must not have been easy to get to where you are, right? Take me through that journey and what it was like.
I think that's always the funny part. People look at your Instagram feed and think that's a reflection of life, and it's probably the furthest thing from it. So I, as you know, left South Africa, and I went with 2 suitcases and 2 weeks of accommodation.
And a lot of faith.
And a lot of faith, crossing fingers and hoping never to get the "I told you so" from the parents.
Wait. Did you just say 2 weeks of accommodation?
2 weeks of accommodation and 2 suitcases. And the plan was, if it doesn't work out, you can always come home. Home's a great place.
Okay.
So I went over, started applying for jobs for my apartment in my hotel overlooking the creek, so still staying on the old side of Dubai.
Yeah.
And within a week, I got a call from a recruitment agent. Within 10 days, I had an interview. And on day 13, I got the offer.
That is incredible. But I mean, you must have some kind of work ethic over and above the faith that you have in yourself, but to apply yourself at such a pressure point to ensure that no matter what happens, you're going to make this succeed. That must have been an immense challenge. I
think that's the challenge of Dubai. I think people think going over, and it could be anywhere, right? It's any expat experience. People think going over is easy, and it's the furthest thing from it. You go over, you struggle, you're alone. I remember the table that I used for the first couple months was the microwave box, turned upside down, because of course you don't want to go over and be like, Mom, Dad, I need money. I spent all my savings getting the little bits of furniture I had in my apartment, which was a mattress, a fridge, a microwave, and a 2-plate stove, and I ate a lot of 2-minute noodles for the first few months.
The sacrifices.
Yeah.
And then you get to this place and, you know, we've got this ideal picture of Dubai, the fast-paced life, the beautiful cars, the high-rises and the fashion that we see there. But I'm sure it must have been challenging on other levels as well. Never mind the climate, the fact that it's humid half the day and you're getting hot, and there's a culture that you've got to get used to as well. How did you adjust yourself to that, especially being somebody who loves South Africa and who's South African at the core?
I think that's exactly it. You know, leaving South Africa, I always say this to people, when you're outside and you look in, you get perspective. And what people forget here is that our lifestyle and our community is amazing. It's incredible.
You don't get it anywhere else in the world.
And you don't get it anywhere else in the world. And I miss that. I miss being able to call my friends and hang out and have jokes about similar things in similar languages. And that was the biggest adjustment for me. You know, you go out to a desert, there's a lot of different nationalities, which is wonderful in itself. The culture is very welcoming, it's very warm, it's a very hospitable area, but it's different.
Absolutely.
And it's not home.
Yeah.
So you do have to open yourselves up to different things. You do have to find new ways to connect with people on different levels. You're not going to be able to sit around and laugh about the same sports teams and the same Afrikaans jokes or whatever. But, you know, you learn to adapt, and it's a decision. It's a decision that I'm here, I want to make it work, I'm going to make it work, and that's essentially what you do. Every day is a wake up, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get through this day, and I'm going to make it work, because that's why I'm here.
Yeah, and you speak about decisions, and then you get to a point where you've reached, I think, a certain level of success that would have made a lot of people sit back on their laurels and go, this is pretty good. I'm living in Dubai, I'm able to, you know, live the lifestyle, and I'm good. But then you go, no, I want more. So you went off and started your own PR and marketing company, right? What inspired you to pivot into that direction?
So I always stayed cognizant of the fact that the reason I left was because I wanted more. And what more was doesn't necessarily mean, I always say the grass isn't greener on the other side, it's just different grass. So I just wanted to keep changing my grass. And I just wanted to keep updating the type of grass that I was walking on. Or, just keeping
What are you on
things
now?
interesting.
Synthetic? Evergreen?
No. We're back to the original. Like, we like the fresh soil vibes. But, that's exactly it. So
Yeah.
I worked in corporate for a while. I don't think I'm built for it. I wanted to be doing my own thing. I was working 18 hours in a corporate environment, hospitality, nightlife. It's amazing. You meet incredible people, but it's challenging. So I thought, well, great. I've done this. I've achieved this. I've hit the roof on this. Now what next? Well, let's do it on my own. I built a wonderful network, and network is key outside the country. And through that, decided, well, I can do PR on my own. And I did it, and I loved it. And then I thought, well, why not have a little play with television again? And went back into that and went back into PR. And just kind of built my environment around what I love and what I'm passionate about. Because I think when that's at the core, no day is a working day. It's just an interesting day.
Absolutely. And you talk about then building that environment around you. And, you found love and you now have a beautiful family. And following your story on the social media spaces, of course, it's beautiful. But what I'm most impressed with and what I'm inspired by is how you've been able to be this incredibly successful person in your business life, but from a family perspective, you're doing equally well. How do you balance it out like that?
I think balance, again, is a decision. It's waking up and going, I'm choosing this for me, I'm choosing this for my family, and I'm choosing this for my work environment. And these put together makes me happy and makes them happy. Working out, lots of yoga, lots of bar, lots of different activities through the day keep me grounded. I work on and off with TV now, so I'm away and then I'm home, and that's all been part of it. And I think motherhood for me is really what helped define who I am. I absolutely love that journey that I'm on. And it's really helped me find that self-confidence as to define who I am. I know what I want in my life. I know what's important. And working out those priorities helps you organize.
That's amazing. And then let's quickly just kind of round it all up. On the 13th of March, you'll be in Los Angeles because all of this hard work that you've put in over the years is paying off handsomely. The show that you've been presenting to an international audience, showcasing Africa, has won a Best International Show Award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel? And how did that gig come about for you?
Yeah, it's actually so funny. So I got a call from a South African team that I worked with, and he's like, hey, Zah, do you want to take up a travel show? And I kind of laughed. I was like, what? I'm too old. Surely not.
Really?
Surely there's
Never that.
younger, fresher, more interesting people. But no, he's like, no, they want to kick up the travel content again, and they're looking for a travel show presenter, and we think you'd be great. So I was like, well, I'll never turn down travel. It's what I live for. And yeah, the rest is history. We started up only about Feb last year. We shot a lot through Africa, which I'm super excited about. And yeah, Namibian episode 1, Best International Travel. And I'm so excited because it's a South African family. We have a wonderful American director, Lisa Renee Ramirez, who sort of guides the team from America. But we're on the road and we do our thing, and it feels like home, and the jokes are the same, and the content's incredible. And I absolutely love it.
And at the end of the day, you are not just showcasing South Africa in your wonderful talents, but showcasing the African continent in an absolutely beautiful way. And we are continually proud of you. Long may you reign. Keep inspiring us. And of course, you at home, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show, because a little bit later on, Zahirah will also be sharing her top 5 destinations to visit in just a bit.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
So now that we've managed to catch up with award-winning TV presenter and travel and lifestyle content queen, Zahirah Marty, it's time for her to share some of her favorite travel destinations and memories. And I think if there's anybody who should be your go-to when it comes to travel, it's Zahirah. I mean, you've practically seen the world. How many passports have you gone through?
A few. I've got the big guy now. I've got
How many pages
is the big guy.
Like 56 or something?
He's the mega. I think you can't get bigger than him.
My
but yeah.
days. You should have like diplomatic status everywhere in the world.
I wish.
All right, so you've got a top 5 of sorts, right, of travel destinations that you've been to that have given you some of the best memories, that have given you the best fashion, maybe souvenirs that you have collected along the way. I don't even know if you've arranged them in any kind of top 5 order, but I'll let you take the reins on this one. So what's one of them that you're...
So nothing arranged, and I'm excluding home, because home's always the top of the list.
Come on
right?
now.
So we're going to take home out of it. Or
You heard
else
that,
home
South
would
African
dominate.
tourism? Heard that? Yes. Home is...
You're welcome. So we're going to take home out of it for a minute, just because, you know, as you know, I've been here a lot, and I love promoting our country and travel to it. But let's not be biased, because that's not fair. I would say Rwanda has been one of my, and it's in no sort of preferential order, but Rwanda surprised me.
What was it about it?
Beautifully clean, incredible operation to how the country runs. Sixth safest country in the world, which blew my mind. And when you go there, you feel it, and that's the big difference. Really incredible. So much diversity in the country, from the city of Kigali, where you've got like coffee shops and really vibrant sort of city cosmopolitan vibes. And then you go up and you see the gorillas, which are amazing. Once in a lifetime experience, everyone should do it. They're like me to you distance apart, and you see them interacting. And they're just incredible, the big silverbacks and the little babies, and unbelievable. And they've got a bit of everything. So they've got safari, and they've got that, and then they've got the chimps up in the Nyungwe forest. Incredible destination.
And the people?
Unbelievably friendly.
Stunning.
Absolutely.
I've always heard good things about people from
beautiful,
Rwanda.
wonderfully friendly people.
Yeah.
So Rwanda's definitely in there.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Japan. I could eat my way around the world. That's something I need to put out there. Like, I'm a massive foodie.
Oh, yes?
So sushi's high up on my favorites list. Japan is an incredible country. The diversity. You know, the one thing I always say to people is when I look up at a train station in Japan, the queue of people is so straight. You could draw a line, I kid you not, down the escalator, and you'd cut everyone in half perfectly. The precision is impressive. So Japan, definitely. Brazil, unbelievable vibrancy, unbelievable energy. I did Rio Carnival.
Okay,
just
that, I mean...
before COVID.
Okay.
This swear word we don't like talking about. Did Carnival, loved it. I have never been...
Were you dressed in costume as well?
No.
Oh, come
I
on.
wasn't
You've
going to
got to
get the
go
boobs and the bumps out, no. I was happy to just look at everybody else doing it. I did get bejeweled, but I was fairly clothed.
Close enough. We're close enough, though. So we've got Rwanda, we've got Japan, we've got Brazil.
Bora Bora, French Polynesia. Up there with, like, the biggest tick box ever. Loved it. Did it for our honeymoon. I have asked to go back, and he says I'll probably have to work for the next 25 years to go back to that one. So not a cheapie, but a goodie.
All
so
right.
maybe save it for a honeymoon or a big anniversary. But it's just a beautiful island. You know, we've got loads of islands. You know, Maldives is beautiful, Seychelles is incredible.
Yes.
But there's something really special about Bora Bora, and the people and the energy and the culture, which is so different to a lot of your other island destinations.
So would you say more for your luxury traveller, if you will?
Definitely more for a luxury experience. I do think you can do it cost effectively, but it's also the time you need to allocate to doing that trip. Because it literally is on the opposite side of the globe to where we are.
So travel-wise, you're going to take some time and
it's the time.
flights
So
and
we did Dubai, Melbourne, Auckland, Tahiti, Bora Bora. So that's a commitment.
A day and a half of traveling.
You need a bit of time to do that one.
But worthwhile.
Definitely worthwhile. United States, for me, being a fashion girl, New York's one of my favorites. I love East Coast, Boston, Washington, that kind of vibe. Just sort of cafe hopping. Melbourne's also great. Just one for the husband, tick the box. Score some points. Melbourne's a great destination. The food in Melbourne is incredible.
Really?
Incredible.
Is it cooked by South Africans?
I would say it's second best to Cape Town as a favorite foodie destination.
Wow.
But very similar in vibe to Cape Town. The food's incredible, the cafes, the coffee, best coffee in the world. I'll hand it to them.
Wow.
Best coffee in the world. I'm sure a lot of the baristas must be South African. So those would be up there with my favorite. And then if I have one more, I'll stick in any African destination.
Yeah.
Whether it's Kenya, whether it's Zambia. I went to Zambia for the first time last year, and that was incredible.
Great people there. I've
Victoria
had the fortune of traveling
Falls. I was on the edge of the falls. And
Did you do that
I
death-defying picture where somebody holds your foot and you hang up?
I did it.
Thank goodness.
And my cameraman was like, "See, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure?" They first said to us, you couldn't do it because the water levels are too high. They said this time of year it's not safe to do it. And then we got there and he's like, "You can do it if you want to." And I was like, "Of course I want to." In I went, 2 men holding my feet, reaching over the falls. I was like, it's probably not the most responsible decision, but we're here and we're going to enjoy it. And we loved it. I mean, that was absolutely incredible. Zambia really surprised me.
Ticked it off.
Really, really loved it.
I'm wondering now, before we wrap things up, I mean, it sounds like you've pretty much been everywhere. Is there a destination that you're still pining for and thinking, oh, I'd love to be there?
There's always destinations that I want to do and then redo. And Japan would be one of the ones I'd want to redo. I've
But
done
somewhere you haven't been yet.
a lot of Greenland, Iceland. I really want to do Antarctica.
Yeah.
That's high on the list, the Antarctic cruise, and go down there and sort of just, you know, have a dive in the little icy waters and see the polar bears. And
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that is in your stars
Yeah.
somewhere there. But
I
thank you
hope
so
so.
much for joining us. And once again, congratulations on the massive
Thank
award.
you.
Make sure to wave at everyone on the red carpet of the Oscars
Of
when you're on your
of
way.
course. And we're going to be wearing South African, of course. So,
Yes.
Yeah, always representing.
Absolutely love it. Make sure that you do keep up with everywhere that Zahirah is by following her on social media at Mrs. Marty, an inspiration not just for South Africans, but I think for all of Africa.